Welcome to the FromThe108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Cheesy E.
Thank you, Quarantine. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, booze, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym or calls us lazy, you drink. And if I talk music or have an awkward pause as we take this train right off the rails, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for $1.08 or more. Hopefully this image is still in here, and it is. Fellas, what are you drinking? My Sock Summer, what are you drinking?
As I just showed your brother, I capped off the bottle of the 1792 Finite.
Oh, wow.
He put it in the other room. He made sure to put it in the other room so he had to walk away to go get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the longest
Keep this in my hallway.
known to man. I have the longest arms ever. Let me look at those things. So I finished that off. And then what are we going to get into after that, Chorizo? The big-ass Wild Turkey 101 bottle, baby. I don't think
you got to finish that tonight,
can't
too.
finish that tonight, I don't think. I'm rolling solo. The wife is in Texas, so it's just me and the kids.
It's going to be an early morning if you get too much of that. It's gonna be
I might not even go to bed. If that's the case.
Beef, what are you drinking?
Boys, you know what? Treasy's a big proponent of this, and you do the same thing at MSS, where you're like, you got to kind of clear out the stuff you got, right? You got stuff laying around, and you're like, I got to get some. So I knew I put a bunch of bottles in my wine cellar. And lately, the missus and I have been drinking down the wine cellar a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's time to restock. And I'm going through there, and I found a bottle of something that I haven't drank in a really long time. And I don't know if you guys have ever drank, but I'm drinking this shit on the rocks tonight. And that is Southern Comfort. So I got SoCo rocks tonight. This feels like could be a tremendous mistake, but I thought, why not? You know, SoCo's not that. It's like 70 proof or whatever. It's not that.
A lot of sugar.
But the sugar, Treasy, the sugar, like I taste the first sip, and I was like, this tastes like the Tussin. This is a little bit like the Tussin, in my opinion. I might feel really good because it'd be like the Tussin. You just pour the Tussin inside me.
You're basically Janis Joplin. That's what you're doing right now. You're pulling the Janis Joplin.
It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad either.
We drank an entire bottle of SoCo for I think my 19th birthday in my buddy's garage, and I was like drunk. And I was like, I'm going home, but they had got me the bottle as a gift. So I was like, I'm taking this fucker home because if I don't take it home, these bad boys they're gonna drink it. So I fucking walked 4 blocks with a bottle of SoCo stuffed into my pants, and like there was a cop just driving next to me, watching me to make sure I got home, and then drove away as soon as I got to my house. And I was like paranoid. I was gonna get like arrested.
This is how white people live, Treasy. White people, they just live a different set. We would have been down in the lawn, arms behind our back. There's no way. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous.
We got to drink here real quick before this guy goes to work. So CJ says, he's off to work, fellas. Cheers to Beef's hangover tomorrow.
Bless you, CJ.
CJ, I hope you got your shirt. It has been shipped. I made sure that I told you that it was shipped, so look for it. You should be getting it soon. We
used to hammer down the SoCo limes. Remember that? I forget.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, after when we played softball.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
the bar we'd go to had one of those machines, like those cooler machines that you put the booze in, and it was one of those. It was like a SoCo bottle, and then like a bottle of the lime juice, and it would mix the two together, chilled, which is like the biggest training wheels you could have on a drink is to chill it. So like it was. Well, I mean, we were drinking like 14-year-olds.
That's why I'm going rocks,
so you're doing it tonight.
I'm doing the same thing. And a couple comments real quick.
Did you read
HBIC? Yeah, I'm getting to that. HBIC says, any limes? And Maloney says, SoCo on the rocks. My man's back in college. And then the one you were pulling up, MSS, Todd Hito says, I drank SoCo once, wound up naked in my front yard. I'm going to be honest, I probably won't end up naked in my front yard, Backyard, maybe though. We got a shot tonight.
There we go.
We got a little bit of shot. Teresi, what are you drinking tonight?
What are you drinking?
I got the Basil Hayden. I got the dark rye.
Atta
This
boy.
one is nice sipper for a long show. So I'm ready to go. I'm in the zone.
Sipper for a
Here we
long
go.
show. Look at Teresi. Teresi's going to be hammered at the end of the show. That's my personal prediction.
Well,
just by
I doubt
him coming in here.
Listen, Loaf,
That's not that happens.
because it's the second half of the show, we'll get to use this. We'll get to use that bumper. That'll be great.
That's not. But maybe so. But I'm not sure.
Who
We
knows?
got another drink.
Let's do
Our
it.
guy Trey says, "What a fucking game! Baseball is boring. Drink beef."
Cheers.
Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you. I knew this was going to come up because I watched the Bums the other night, and Baloney says Basil Hayden's dark rye? ? Pass me the SoCo. They're haters of Basil Hayden. They are big
good.
Basil Hayden haters.
It's good. It's fine. More for me.
That's fine. No worries.
When you don't see me shitting on, like a $15 bottle of wine, that's how you know I'm better than the Bums. They'll shit on the cheaper stuff. That's
Basil
but me
Hayden
as a
isn't
wine
cheap.
guy. I don't do that. I don't shit on you guys.
Basil Hayden's isn't even cheap though. It's like
It's not really cheap.
They don't like it.
no,
It's not expensive.
It's
I'll tell
not.
you that.
No.
Beef. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I disagree with White Sox Sal. I do not aspire to be white, but whatever. Treasy, I have something for
Italian
you.
festival. You're fine. Don't worry.
I'm one of the good ones, and I'm light skinned. I could be Greek.
Just pretend you're Italian. It's fine.
Treasy, I have something to ask you. I need your judgment on this because I saw this today. I'm flipping through Twitter, and known gambler Bill Krakenberger. You know who that is, Treasy?
Yeah.
The crack man. Okay. I mean, I think Sammy P knows him or whatever, but he's a long time online known advantage player, gambles for a living. So he's on this show, and he's been doing more and more of this stuff. Like, he's kind of getting popular in these live streams, whatever. He's on the show on Visson, and I saw a clip where he's talking about credit card roulette for dinner, and he's got an angle. He's got a tip, right? And now for those in the comments and listening to this who don't know what credit card roulette is, you go out to dinner with a group, everyone throws credit cards in there. The server will pick a card out, and whoever they pick pays for dinner for everybody. Okay? So it's basically like a game where you had a lot of variance to dinner. Most people won't pay. One person's going to take the entire bill. The last time we were in Vegas, me and Treasy and our wives and another couple, we played credit card roulette, and I lost 2 fucking dinners in a row that they were like, we're not doing it the third night. They were like, you are not paying. We're splitting up. They felt so bad because, I could have been on pace to lose for the whole trip. So that's how credit card roulette works. So the crack man says, here's his pro tip for credit card roulette. He says that instead of putting a credit card in there, he puts a very light, like plastic room key. And he says that he does that because it doesn't have the raised numbers or whatever, and it's light, so that the server goes right past it. And so my question for you, Treasy, is that ethical? I feel like you can't not put a card in there.
No,
I understand if he got picked, he would pay.
unethical.
But that seems unethical, right? That's some bullshit.
That's ridiculous. That's like saying I'm putting this raffle ticket in here so that if they take the raffle ticket, of course this is going to be. But they would never pick it. They would never pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's preying on the server. Really, is what he's doing. He's going. I know that this person's not going to take the light, flimsy plastic thing,
Right.
Because they're going to assume, man, this motherfucker's trying to pay with a library card. He can't afford this. Let me take someone else. Take someone who could afford to buy this dinner. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm always looking for an edge.
Yeah.
But you're
cheating.
You're with your friends.
You're angle shooting. You're angle shooting.
Your buddies. What the fuck is that?
It's some bullshit.
Like, you shouldn't use your metal credit card that we all have, Loaf. Like, you shouldn't use that. You should use one of the other credit cards you have.
Because that one's going to get picked, right? That's the heavy one. You don't want the real heavy one. I agree.
Yeah.
I understand the thought process, but that's some bullshit. You have to fine. If you got yourself a credit card that's super light and you somehow but it is a credit card, I think that's fair game. It's fair game. But a fucking room key is some bullshit, you know?
Yeah, that's true. They can't see it, right? They're supposed to reach in and just grab.
They're supposed to just pull one out and that's it. Yeah, exactly. So okay, I'm glad you guys are on the same page as me. I felt like, and I like fun games like that and shit, but that seemed like a bridge too far in my opinion.
I like this from Timothy Meyer. He goes, here's a hot tip: just sprint out of the restaurant before any of your friends.
Yeah, that's a great one. Now, Southside Mofo says, as a former server, always pick the American Express. Never the Discover card.
Yeah. I don't even think they have Discover
I think it's a
cards
strong
anymore.
play from the other side of the perspective. That is a good point. Don't put your Amex in there. I think that's a good idea.
He's looking at the tip. Is what
Exactly right. So no Amex is a good play. Don't put the Amex in there.
Yeah, no, don't do that either. This
My
one,
sucks.
speaking of cheap plastic things, those Light Tower Cubs season ticket holder gifts are amazing. You know what's even more amazing? We don't even get season ticket holder gifts anymore. Like, those are gone.
You forgot about that beautiful hat? The beautiful hat?
They don't give them to the end of they usually send you some at the end of the year to be like, hey, we love
Look
you.
at that.
That's my shit right there. You know how many things I wore that?
You know what? That's going to look great next to the logoed baseball they're sending us that I'm sure is like got more plastic in it than a McDonald's straw. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. Treasy,
Summer, how you doing? Good.
I'm doing great.
Okay.
And actually, I had a little story. I was going to tell it last week, and I ended up telling the person that it's about. I was like, you're lucky we didn't have a podcast last week because I was going to talk about it. And then nothing really exciting happened this week. So I was like, I'm just going to tell this story. So I was online. I was on the Facebooks, and I was looking at I'm part of the Riot group, like board or whatever on Facebook. And somebody was like, hey, did anybody else have any problems getting their tickets when they bought from the Facebook site 100% legit real, Riot Fest tickets by here, right? And I was like, so there's a Facebook group selling tickets, and the title, even in the title, says this is 100% legit, buy now, right?
Oh my God.
And people are like, what are you doing? Why are you buying a ticket through a Facebook page? And other people are like, well, they're usually pretty legit, so maybe something happened. I was like, this seems wrong. Everything about this seems wrong, right?
Unless,
like, what?
So, Quernsey was telling me the other day, she
didn't do it, dude.
One of her friends sent her a thing about Savannah Bananas and was like, hey, should we get some of these Savannah Banana tickets? And it was one of those links.
Yes.
And she was like, absolutely not. It's not a real site. Like, don't go give that thing your money. But
here we go.
People are all over Facebook doing this shit.
You jumped the gun. So I see this and on the Riot Fest site, and I go, who the fuck falls for this shit? No one falls for this. This is like old people like, oh my God, you're locked up in Europe. You need me to send $1,700 in Apple gift cards? Sure, I'll send it right now. Like it's that kind of shit, right? So when the Savannah Bananas get announced, and other than me fighting with Kobe's burner about how every team is doing it, so it doesn't really make the Sox look bad. I was also going, I don't know who really would want to go to this. Apparently, everyone I fucking know wants to go to it because they've been hitting me up, including my wife, my kids, my niece or my nephews. I don't have any nieces that I know of, and my nephews. And like my brother-in-law, my sister, all these people want to go. And so my sister sends me a message. I don't even contact my sister because I'm like, no one wants to go to this. This is goofy shit. I think it's stupid. But yeah, okay, sure. And then so she goes, oh man, I see the Savannah Bananas are going to be in Chicago. And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, we want to go really bad, but man, at $200 a ticket, we can't afford that. That's ridiculous. And I go, it ain't $200 a ticket, right? And like in my head, I'm going, that's fucking even stupider if people are paying $200 a ticket to go see some guy light a bat on fire and flip it behind his back and then hit a softball. This is stupid. We can go watch Slim Mick every fucking weekend, like set something on fire.
We're not gonna, but yeah, we could.
We could if we wanted to. And it wouldn't cost $200. So I'm like, okay, well, let me look into this. So I start looking into it, and I'm like, yeah, it says $30 to $40 and blah blah blah. And she goes, yeah, well, this is. I'm like, Julia, it says, well, my sister Summer. I go, hey, what? Look at this right here. Like, what the fuck? It says $30 to $40 a ticket. $125 is VIP. You could be back there. You looking at VIP? She goes, no. She's like, here's the site I'm looking at, and she sends me the fucking same goddamn Facebook page that you have, where they're like this, and I'm like, my sister's 5 years younger than me. She is 42 years old. Okay. And like, listen, people can give you gullible and they can fall for things. And I understand that. Like, that's not the problem. The problem is, as much as she doesn't want to like admit it, Like, I have a tiny inn with one Major League Baseball team. Okay.
Yes, correct.
I know at least one person at 35th and Shields where they're going to be playing that could potentially at least point us in the right direction of where to buy the tickets or find out what the deal is with tickets. And my sister is like, no, I don't need to go through my brother, who this is probably the only thing he can help me do, because he has no career. He doesn't have this. He's just a stay-at-home father, which is, I've been told several times, is not a real job. And it's like, hey, fucking Christ. Like, give me a shot. I can help you here. Let me fucking help you. Like, we can get you Savannah Banana tickets. So we are signed up and we are on the waiting list. And then I also told her that season ticket holders get first crack. I don't know how many tickets we're getting, but like, hey, we will probably be able to make this happen for less than $200 a ticket. But for God's Christ almighty, don't buy anything on fucking Facebook or any Facebook groups. Like, just stop doing that now. So
hang on. I got a question here. Yeah, a lot of people in the comments are saying how fun the Savannah Bananas are, and I didn't even know Mrs. Beef wants to go. Now she wants to go to this game. What do they do exactly? I've seen the person on stilts, but is this like Harlem Globetrotters but for baseball, or what exactly do the Savannah Bananas do? I see the clips but I don't know what exactly is going on there. I'm not really sure.
I've only seen the clips that you have, so like,
so I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna go though. I'm gonna go.
So yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
It seems like people really enjoy it and like they want to go, and I'm like, fine, we'll go. I'll go if you guys want to go. Then I'll go. Probably not gonna go to both games, but I'll go to one of the games, and see it. But I'm not going to both games. Not going. I'm not in for both. So we at one time. That's only got to see it one time. I only got to see the Party Animals get beat one time. I don't need to see the Party Animals get beat by the Savannah Bananas twice.
Sam says MSS hates bananas. I don't think so. He likes bananas.
I don't like the Savannah Bananas. And remember when I was telling you we're going to be so sick and hate the Savannah Bananas?
You were way wrong.
That was wrong.
People love it still.
But the one
they love Nickelback too, man.
The one caveat in that conversation that got changed is they were supposed to have a show on ESPN, and it would have shoved it down everybody's throat, and that got canceled. So that didn't even happen. So that was it. Thank Christ. All right.
So you were right. So you were right.
Well, no. I still was wrong.
He's taking a victory lap right now, Teresa.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take a victory lap. So,
God damn it.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I had for tonight. Yeah.
So, Beef, we made it through another week of Survivor.
Yeah,
we did. We're alive.
Another week of Survivor.
We are alive, baby. Yes.
Living on the edge.
Our win was pretty easy this past week. We picked the Texans against the Patriots, and the Patriots had Drake May starting as a rookie, and so we thought, this would be easy. And it started off easy, but Drake May then started throwing the ball around.
Okay.
Yeah,
he looked okay.
Decent,
I'm interested to see. Now I'm hearing he might be hurt, but I'm interested to see him play this weekend against the Jags, even though he's got to go across the ocean to go do it. But the Jags look terrible in their second home field last week. We'll see how they do with the week there. That game is not on my radar for Survivor. Not looking at that. Not looking at what's going on right now. There's a couple games that I'm looking at, Beef. I'm looking at the Commanders game, and I'm looking at the Bills game.
I like that.
Yeah. Those are the two that I'm like really honed in on, and I want to get your opinion there, where you're landing on this.
I looking at both of these, like initially I told you, oh man, Commanders and the Panthers are horrible. They're horrible on the road. They're just a bad team altogether. But the only issue I have here is like rookie quarterback. He's been going so good, but they could have a bad start. You don't know when the bad start's coming. And the Commanders' defense isn't good. Like that's the part. They've been living on the offense, like keeping them ahead of teams, and they lost last week to the Ravens when they ran into a good team. So they scare me a little bit from that standpoint. On the other standpoint, the Bills are a much better team than the Titans, and I think they're a better team than the Commanders too. But Josh Allen does weird shit sometimes. Sometimes I have that game where he's like 9 for 30, and I'm like, fuck, how did they lose to that team? And so both of these teams will probably win big, but they both scare me a little bit. I want to say I think that the Bills probably scare me a little less just because Josh Allen can maybe do it with his legs too. And there's a little more of a complete team there. But I'm not 100% sure. Where are you feeling really strong with these two?
So with the Bills, the only reason I'm not totally on the Bills is because I feel like if we continue to go, I can use them later. Like I'm more than certain I can use them later.
They'll play Miami, they'll play New England or whatever.
This might be the best Commanders matchup for a while.
Yeah.
And so looking at it that way, I like that. I also like that it's a late game. Like I think like it
Right.
especially if our opponent picks in the early, then we know what position we're in. Right?
Yep.
Like if they've lost, I mean, like we're just we can put $1,000 on the Panthers and feel just fine about it.
Right, exactly.
You know, so like I kind of like that a little bit. But with the Bills, I like the Titans are a tire fire too. Like I think they should beat the crap out of them. And they just traded for Amari Cooper. Like I feel like it's a great addition. Now that is something though I might let live a couple weeks, right? And then have them get James Cook back, have that entire offense like about to really beat up on somebody, and that might be the good time to take the Bills.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning Commanders.
But you are going against your other thing where like the Panthers probably are more likely to score than the Titans. However, the Titans defense is a lot better than the Panthers defense. Like the Titans might have one of those games where the Bills only get 17 points off them because they actually play good. Like you saw how they terrorized the Bears on the opening. They should have beat the Bears in the opener. Like that, their defense is good enough to do that.
The Panthers have come back to I don't know how they're going to score. Like that's like they've returned to that. There was a good moment.
The Red Rockets.
There was
out
a good
now.
moment of him, like where you're like, oh, maybe he's all right. Maybe he's gonna do some stuff here, and it's like, no, I think this is just a really bad offense.
Do some stuff, say some things, do some things. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still up in the air. We could figure it out in the next couple days, but I mean, I think it's down to those two teams because
I would
like
agree.
I don't like the Browns. Like I think like they stink and like I can't bet on the Bengals right now.
Bengals
Like,
on the road in
can't
division.
go Bengals.
Too scary. It's too scary.
no.
They'll probably win by 30 points, but it's too scary. I'm
Eagles against the Giants. Like the Eagles barely beat the Browns, and like the Giants have looked like a reasonable football team, you know, recently. So
the only lower spread I like out of all of them, Treasy, if we were like picking a dark, is the Colts at home against the Dolphins. Dolphins are horrible right now.
Like
Dolphins are fucking horrible. Like I want to catch them later on when we got a good matchup. But like if we were forced to pick an off-brand team, the Colts -3 at home, like that one. And we don't have to worry about the spread. They just got to win. But still,
Rams over the Raiders is one where I could feel comfortable enough. I looked at that one thinking like, when else are we going to pick the Rams? But then I was like, hopefully we never have to. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Week and our opponent loses and we're done. That's perfect,
exactly.
You know?
That's right.
Or we both lose and we have another split.
Exactly.
That'd be sweet too.
But okay. All right. Down to 2 teams. We'll figure it out in the next couple days. I think that's good enough. I think MSS probably time to pay some bills.
Okay.
I went down to the dock last night. Kids in costumes, oh what a sight. They cried out, don't you give us sweets. We want Lawrence Strip, no tricks, just treats. Vampires, witches, goblins too, all on trend with something new. Shrimp in buckets, shining bright. Lord the lights on Halloween night. Give it, baby. Lawrence Strip so yummy. Candy's old news, let's make it clear. Shrimp is the treat of the year.
Yeah.
I would like it, like to go trick or treating and just get a handful of fried shrimp. That's
Agreed. If my
not
bag or
against.
basket was filled with shrimp, that would be exciting to get home and eat all that. Absolutely.
It'd be, as the kids used to say in the 90s, tits.
You know what time it is, guys? It's time for the Lawrence's hot sauce seat. All right.
Hi, guys.
We got Missy Carroll with us from SoxCrave. And before we get into this, as an old man, I need you to first explain to me what Pop Crave is.
Okay, so I see a lot of people don't know or are not as chronically online in their 20s as I am. But if you are, your main news source is either Pop Base or Pop Crave. Pop Crave, a little less biased, except you kind of know who they like based on if they stun in pictures or not. So like Beyonce stuns in pictures, Michael Cera does not. So that's
that's
one thing you
bullshit.
got to know. I know.
Which
He
one
probably-
of the 108ers would you say stunned most in pictures? Just off the top of your head, which one was
Treasy.
stunned most?
Treasy.
Treasy is most stunning in
Treasy
pictures.
would be,
Okay.
he's stunned.
He's
in
Beyonce,
pictures.
and then I'm
Yeah.
Michael Cera. I'm the exact opposite. I'm the one
No,
who does not stun in pictures.
You would be, they would say, Beef Loaf looks divine in new GQ photo shoot.
I feel divine
You
right
do.
now.
You do look.
My chain
then
is really sparkling too.
My Sox Summer, when they don't like someone, they just don't say any adjective and they go, My Sox Summer in new photo. That's what his
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
So they are
I heard that as
unbiased.
nude photo, and like I believed it.
Blur it out. The BWC.
They do both. It's basically pop culture news and everything and anything you can think about. If you have their notifications on, it goes crazy. And they comment on everything, celebrity, whatever. And then they also do like they'll randomly be like, the troops are going to here one day, and you're like, SoxCrave, what are you doing? Like, that's not pop culture. So they're a little mix of everything. And I wanted to bring that craving pop culture to the White Sox Twitter community. Felt like it was about time we start getting to the bottom of what goes on behind the scenes.
Fuck yeah.
Twitter
true.
site.
Beef, I'll turn it to you. I know you got questions.
Yeah, Missy. I mean, here's what I want. I want you to bring us what is the latest and greatest. What are the hottest things that are going right now for SoxCrave? And you go and we'll jump in. We'll comment.
All right. Well, I just want to say also first, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving
Absolutely.
us a little bit of a platform to talk about the goss going on. We really wanted a daily show, but no one's really picked us up yet. So if you could do us a favor and contact Xfinity and Comcast support, let them know you want to see us on your network. You can
Honestly,
email, call,
Missy, I was a little
tweet.
disappointed in you going after the social media person today. Like
Oh,
they
not
had
voting.
anything to do with it, you know? Like they're just out there.
wow,
They're just
yeah.
out there doing their job.
Good call,
And
good
you're
call,
like, oh,
Treasy.
why not YouTube TV? You asshole.
I was just doing a shot at them. Okay. Yeah, but this is
You know,
top
all
thing.
the
This is
perverts,
top
all the
thing.
perverts that got YouTube TV. I'm sorry. Get a real thing, all right? YouTube TV was bullshit to begin with. Get something else. That's
Right.
what it is. You're just, hey, it's another app you got to get off of. I'm sorry. Hulu sucks now, or Roku, or whatever. You got to get off it and get on to the
I
next
don't know
one.
if Roku's even an app, is it?
It is.
Is it?
They have TV station.
They have
Or
TV
They have
station.
TV
Yeah.
channels.
I was just
they have like a live TV. It's like free.
Just writing that down for after the pod. I got to go ahead and tweet that out, what Beeflo said. So
Beautiful.
On your iPad. Chill. Did you steal that from your dad or what?
no. So we have eyes and ears everywhere. You think you're safe, but you actually don't know how much your families will sell you out for $25 to Portillo's. It was very easy to get in on some places. We are expanding now because we've gotten a lot bigger. So CHGO, Sox on 35th, we got people on you. Billy Wires, someone just stakes out at his golf course. Matt Ramsey has been hard to find. We've been trying to contact him for about 2 months now. So if you guys could put in a word in there. So speaking of their families will sell you out for about nothing, My Sox Summer's kids sold him out for Bluey Stanley Cup. So I was able to get full reign of his laptop. And if you guys have been seeing as of late, My Sox Summer has been looking for a job. Our local unemployed lover. And so he is the local White Sox podcaster, thrifter, everything. And his first job he got was the sign designer at Walmart. At your jungle shit today. Now he was weird to post this on Snapchat and didn't see, but literally that same day he got fired and said it through Snapchat. Didn't know if he knew what that was, but we had eyes and ears on that as well. And then
So I think that's
I saw Summer. You worked today? Hang on. How did
Also-
this happen?
also that's weak on Walgreens' side, man. That got them a lot of attention. That was
Yeah,
a
I
good.
mean, look
that was
at
good
that.
design.
Shongle shit, man.
corporate
What band is that? MSS Shongle shit. Is that
Shongle
they play right past the shit or what?
I don't know. I bought my tickets on Facebook, so I didn't get to go.
But yeah, no, I was surprised too that he's getting all these jobs. What sucks is that he keeps getting fired from them because then the next day He got hired as marketing for the toothpick company.
Oh Lord.
And then on his off day,
I don't use those toothpicks.
he got fired. They just said you can't do both. Either you pick your online career, or you be the toothpick guy. You can't have.
Wait a second.
Those
So
are the
he got
toothpicks I
fired.
use.
I got fired. Huh?
I like that MSS didn't take offense to anything else about this and just goes, "Oh, I don't use those toothpicks.
No,
like
yeah.
those fucking toothpicks are beneath."
That's why he was
That's why I
fine
got
being
fired.
let go. Yeah,
Those
he
are
was
for
fine being let go.
those are for losers. Those are loser toothpicks.
It's like this guy doesn't even want a job. He can't even. You see why he's hard? He's hard to
don't.
keep around.
That sounds
you
right.
know? Yeah.
I don't want a job.
So he also ended up. We got another one. He did start working for the.
I look so
Paw
good in
Patrol.
that picture too.
But he reached for Chase's gun and they tackled him and he was fired.
Man.
They don't have guns in Paw Patrol, Missy.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think I would know because they do. And then he also his latest venture. He actually was subbing at St. Rita. Shout out Southside Zoe. And then he was fired for this odd Twitter post. Waiter, 1,000 milligram edible and groping her fat butt, please.
Oh my
That's
Lord.
just crazy. I could see that is not holy of you. That is not the Catholic values
No,
that they
it's
have.
not.
I get it. But what's great about convincing his kids to let me go on his laptop is you don't want to do that. First off, looked in the history, actually kind of scarred me. And but I did find a classified job rejection list. So these are the jobs that he applied for and he didn't even get into. He was the animatronics controller at Chuck E. Cheese. They told him that doesn't exist anymore. So then he's like, what about the mouse mascot? They said, no, just outright no. SAT proctor. Don't know why he wanted to do that. They just kicked him out. Mall Santa. Failed. Paperboy. Never seen him ride a bike, but apparently he does. Martha Stewart. Stunt double. Don't know why he even applied to this one.
Just to hang
That
out
one
with
seems
Snoop,
like
probably.
That one seems like
I
a
would
given.
love to hang out with Snoop.
I think he wanted to hang out with Snoop. That's got to be that, right?
Smoke weed every day.
Hell,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He wanted to be the Times Square Spider-Man. I think that was just to get away from the kids on the off season. Not too sure. Walmart greeter. I don't know why he got rejected from that. Just look at him. Car wash spinner. He did try being the troll telling riddles under the 35th Street Viaduct. I've seen a couple of those. They are not looking to hire. And feetfinder.com. It's really hard to get
Oh man.
yeah.
Feetfinder, but he found a way to do it. So
Tough one.
we have eyes and ears on him at all times, and we will keep you updated more on MSS's adventure to getting a real job.
MSS, tell me about feetfinder.com.
Oh man.
Yes.
Well, if you need some feet, that's where you go to find them. You know, if you're finding feet, you go there too. So
I never knew MSS was this ambitious to try to work.
I know.
This is surprising. I'm impressed.
I actually did look up some things this week about getting a job because I'm like, you know what, maybe I should try to do something. And then I was like, no, I looked at some stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good.
No, thanks.
I'm like, I'll just get a little bit more motivated to get rid of all the shit in my basement. That's what I'll do.
Yeah,
and
that
sell
suits
some
you.
feet pics.
Yeah.
Well,
Sell some feet pics.
He went to Hand Finder next, so
Treasy, your brother's trying to get me just to give them away for free on Facebook, and I'm like, absolutely not. The motherfucker has got to pay.
It's not totally free if you get some tickets out of it.
That's true.
You're just shooting an angle. That's all. Like putting a room key in the.
Got to find something. Yes.
That's right.
Just running his feet through cookie cake.
Oh. I wouldn't waste.
There's a
That's later
fetish
on.
for
Don't
that.
spoil later on in the show, Treasy.
There's a
wasted.
fetish for that. I'm almost 100%
I would
sure.
assume.
You guys know the feet fetish angles that they like?
Oh God.
You want me to-
I'm not familiar with the
I personally
angles.
don't.
but I bet I could. I bet I can imagine.
I think maybe on a different show you do.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, that was just a little gossip in me. So then I guess the next story that we've been following closely, Grady Sizemore. He is we're not really sure what he's doing on the off season. So we just sent a person to just follow him all around. He is just a himbo. You guys know what a himbo is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. He has been a big himbo As we've seen, there's always been just a glaze in his eyes. So I don't think he really knows what he's supposed to be doing right now.
He's glazing something.
He was told, Chris Getz was told he was in a 17-day nap, and we were like, not so sure after what we found. We were alerted he was lost in the Homer Glen Cano's corn maze like a day after the season ended.
Did Carlton Fisk drive him into that?
Yes.
Well, the reason we found out is because Carlton Fisk called us because he saw a helicopter airlift him out of it because he literally couldn't get out. They had to find him.
Badass.
I know. That was crazy. So we
Man,
also
he's
caught
manager
wind.
material. Fuck.
He's a hard worker. You'll see. We caught wind of him working at Panera Bread on Harlem and 79th. We don't know what that's about. We think he was just bored because we haven't seen him since working a drive-thru. He walked into a championship for a 16-inch fall league and just started coaching like he's been there the whole season. I was reported all the girlfriends and wives thought it was really hot, so that's kind of why I knew about that. And the last, I actually saw him on the way to the office this morning. He was fishing in the Calsag.
Man, busy as hell.
It's a chilly morning to be out there fishing. You know?
So chill.
With Dan Bernstein.
Oh man,
He had no jacket.
You don't know him like that, Chirizi. Okay, you can't call him.
I
by
can't
his
full
name.
name him. I can't.
You can only call him Danzy Burnsies.
Yeah, he's a special one. Looking forward to him in year 2. But you know what? The last one I think, or actually, you know what? Just quick tidbit. We have been reached out to Bravo about this, and they came to us with this idea. They saw the 108 wives and girlfriends and girlies and said, "Oh, baby, we need to get these divas on the screen." And I'd be included, and I told them, like, we're not really drama-filled. We are very much love each other, you know? And Bravo said that not when we're done with you. So I was like, oh, they're probably going to bring, I know. I was like, they're probably going to bring up some really crazy stuff. Am I right? So I'm looking really forward to seeing how that plays out. And if anyone yells at me, I will cry on the show. Okay.
That's funny because there haven't been any White Sox Twitter relationships or fake relationships or anything that has happened over the last couple of years. So I couldn't imagine what angles they might go after here, but
not at all.
Could be
not
fun.
at all.
I think people would cry. I think people would.
I would. I'm telling you straight
Burnsy's
up.
crying immediately. She knows how to bring it.
Hell
too.
yes, to a show.
She might do it just to fuck with people. You know?
I see Miss Beefloaf say one thing about me that's like, well,
Can you
I
pull
don't
that
know.
back
I
up,
cried.
though? Can you pull that back up? Because I don't really like the wording of that tweet. It says, developing a show about the From the 108 wives and girlfriends. There are only wives.
That's a good
Don't be
point,
getting
Tracy.
many of us in some shit here, all right?
There's no
I
stepping
tried to
out.
put
There's no
a-
stepping out
Fuck.
here, my friend.
I was
the
trying
fuck?
to put the section away. You know what? Sometimes I don't do these tweets.
Man,
My
fuck
assistants did 'em.
Bravo
There was
for that shit,
Yeah.
Tracy. Wait, those motherfuckers,
Bravo's
they're
trying to
some
start shit. They're trying to start shit.
Andy
Baloney
Cohen.
asks, who is the Andy Cohen of White Sox Twitter? Simple answer, Vino. Come on. He's White Sox Twitter's top
I was,
gay.
you know what
don't
I was
worry
going to
about
say, MSS?
Top 5 gays.
I don't think I know who Andy Cohen is.
Oh, he is not the guy that
know I
owns
don't.
the Mets. Okay.
Okay.
He's not,
Maybe it's his
not
son.
married
Okay.
to him. No.
Should we get to a few drinks before we get to
We
the
should.
last?
We
last
should,
item
especially a specific one that I saw that I thought was kind of funny. From our guy Baloney, he says, how is it that Missy has perfect internet, but that same location loses connection every 5 minutes on Monday nights?
It's my home.
Cheers.
What are we?
here? Thank you, Peter.
This is your home.
Where am I?
I don't know. You got a wonderful poster behind you, though.
Southside Bum says, what's up, gents? Glad you invited the SoxCrave creator.
I don't know what that
Show.
means.
That's right.
I don't know what that means.
All right. Got one from our guy Gordo. Gordo, I hope
Gordo,
you're doing
welcome
well.
home.
man.
Home, bro.
Welcome home, man. He says, chug fuckers, and we will. We will for you, buddy.
I have to shotgun for him because that's his request for me, and I
Oh.
keep putting it off. So I'll do it after the show. Tune in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no one would want to see that. Like let's make sure the cool shit is off air.
Yeah.
I'm scared I'm scared to ruin the carpet.
I can't wait to see the SoxCrave article.
That's the kind of risk you got to take.
Southside behavior, Missy Carroll, shotguns off camera, killing Gordo. Good job.
Jerry O'Sullivan says, thanks to SoxCrave, I think it's Carve, for the Twitter shout out earlier today. Cheers, great guest tonight.
Yeah,
Cheers,
Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Cheers.
Bless your heart.
Jerry rebought Stadium Club in Beverly and opened it. I don't know if you guys remember, it closed because of tax reasons, and then we started to GoFundMe the high schoolers, and then they closed again for tax reasons again.
And somehow Jerry knew we were going to have another guest tonight. I don't know how he knew that. All right, let's get.
You crushed the hopes of SoxCrave.
Let's carve this last one out.
What do you carve? I don't know what you guys are talking about with this carve thing. I have no idea. Now, this last one, it will be a long expose that is coming out in the future, but I need to tell you the details that we know right now. I know. Buckle up. This is getting serious. So we, I think it's the craziest scandal that has come out of White Sox Twitter. So there's details we're not allowed to reveal, but stay tuned. The little beef that is in the Au Jus cup, in the Au Jus poster, as you all know, we thought he was just mini beef loaf. Turns out he's an evil little loaf. It started out he was missing by federal officials, and then it turned out to be a missing persons case. Then we looked at the latest court filings. Get this. He lied on his 2022 tax returns. Okay. Turns out Au Jus is very valuable in the little beef community. He was sitting on a pile of Au Jus that was worth $3.6 million. He failed to report to the IRS.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, he been stealing from us, boys.
He owes you.
And the IRS had no idea it was even that expensive, because it's pretty easy to get away with Au Jus fraud when you don't know that. And today we had a big breakthrough. Okay, we found a source that said he was trying to fake his own death by drowning the Au Jus. Failed because officials found Au Jus drippings into Midway Airport, into the gate to Cuba. I know. So he went
all
to
those
Cuba.
flights from Midway to Cuba.
I know.
You don't know about it. You don't go to.
I know,
I don't
very
go to
much,
Cuba.
Tracy, all
I
right,
don't
you
go
know
to Cuba,
that's how it is.
Southwest, $100. And so federal officials couldn't even get him because they didn't even put a warrant on him at that time. So unlike Big Beef Loaf, hopefully, we found out Lil Beef Loaf is a snitch. Lil Beef Loaf straight up snitched on Tupac. He broke the code.
Sniff and a stitch.
Wow.
Snitch.
He broke the code of people who go missing. He just straight up told us, yeah, Tupac is alive. And guess what, bitches? I'm with him. Unbelievable that we put Jordan Miller on house arrest for how many years? Towards killing Tupac. But it is still ongoing. Little Beef could be lying to look cooler. I wouldn't put it past him. So still keep tabs on Mr. Miller. And that's about all we have that is interesting.
Wait a second. Is Pac dropping a new album though? That's really all I care about in this story.
Another new album.
We'll reach out to the Cuban government representing little Au Jus beef.
Hang on, am I at any risk for any of this? Like they might, think I'm him, or I'm a little worried about this now because we look a lot alike. Like look at that, look at the pictures. We look very similar.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean, he's better looking and thinner than I am, but still, like it's.
You know what? Anyone's ever going to confuse? No one will ever confuse you with beef being Lil.
I didn't want to say it, but
how dare you? It's not very nice.
If it was big fuck beef, then would you better start running.
Learn strength.
I think you're good.
Learn Spanish, motherfucker.
He was last seen, and by the way, I don't know if you know, he's not wearing any clothes in that bowl. No idea.
Oh my God!
I know. I know. The
he's really seasoning the Au Jus, huh?
Wait a second.
The worst part of the story.
Balls deep in
free balling in the sauce.
That doesn't sound it.
It was the most horrific details that came out about the case
gravy.
too. If I'm being honest, so
must be incredible beef though down there because it made the Au Jus worth 3.6 million. That's
in the little beef community. Impressive. Oh my God, it's like liquid gold. I had no idea.
Suge Knight, Suge Knight's gonna start listening from jail. He's gonna get wiretapped.
I think Suge's dead.
I think so too.
Patrick Rutherford says
I think that guy's
Tupac and Little Beef will be a part of a Super Bowl halftime show this year. It's possible. They could be guests. I don't know.
Both
holograms.
Suge
Knight's not dead. Why are you guys calling Suge Knight?
No,
I thought Suge Knight was dead.
Suge
I
Knight's
think he's
alive.
dead.
No, he's
He
alive.
died like
alive.
2 years ago.
We reached out for comment. He didn't respond.
Someone look this up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Comments, is Suge Knight alive? Tell
He's
us.
not
Tell
dead,
us
you
what's going on.
fucking idiot.
No, I'm just gonna spread the rumor he's alive. Even
What about Wilford Brimley?
You go.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. It was before your time. He died in the 60s.
I'm cosplaying a 20-year-old pop culture account. I do not know anything.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Suge is still alive. My bad.
What I tell you guys, all right?
MSS.
I look over my shoulder all the time. I know if Suge's alive.
It's like
MSS,
Sinbad was in that movie that we all think he was
MSS,
in
let's
the 90s.
let's
He
wait.
was not.
Let's wait till tomorrow morning to confirm this, because like he might be dead right now, and we might have just known.
Jump the
Just
gun
in our hearts.
Yes, it's
you
true.
motherfuckers. You better not.
We might have
more
gave
content.
Stocks
Keep
Car
going.
a fucking little thing.
Chronicles
there,
a
yeah.
great album, you son of a bitches.
Missy,
Great content.
thank you so much for joining us for this. This is very educational for someone of my age. I don't know about these goings-ons on the
Yes.
internet, so it's helpful to learn about all this stuff and learn about Beef's Little Beef.
Yeah.
It's
And the little
Oh.
beef community.
and you know
Not
what?
that
Our-
little, apparently.
apparently
saying
delicious
is-
and expensive.
Juicy
Our-
and
Our
valuable.
saying is everything you read is true. Everything on the internet is true. Everything that you see is 100% non-biased. So we appreciate you guys supporting SoxCrave, the #1 news
Yep.
source for White Sox Twitter.
Thank you,
Thank
Missy.
you.
We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye. And Gabe is right. I did go to the Netherland Ranch. I have been to Netherland, Colorado.
Little Nettie
I've been there,
Niederlander.
And
All
I
right.
was there at the ranch. So, Gabe, you got me again.
Oof.
Also, that he also reported that I would be having sex with 480 women if I wasn't married. So,
Wow.
which I also confirmed. It would definitely happen, and my dick would fall off due to STDs. So it would be great.
Guys, I think it's about time to get into a little bit of White Sox talk. I can't confirm the first part. I can confirm we're going to talk about the second part. And big news dropped. Big kind of bullshit news dropped today. And I'm going to give you my little thought on this as we roll into it. And then you guys tell me if you think I'm a fucking idiot or if I'm out of my mind or what. But I'm going to say this.
Let's go.
If the news came out and Jerry was going to sell to anyone other than a group led by Dave Stewart, I'd be taking a fucking victory lap right now. Because in April, I wrote the blog saying that the things Jerry has been doing point to him selling the team. Like that's just how I felt. All the pieces he was trying to put in place felt like a guy trying to max out the value for when he's selling his team.
Right.
But no. Saying that you're going to sell to the guy who is actively trying to put a team in Nashville is just the same tired Jerry bullshit going, we're going to need that new stadium or we're moving to Nashville. Not even my fault this time. This new guy who I've never met is thinking about taking the team to Nashville. It is so ridiculous to think that this is a real thing, because this is just them trying to put pressure not only the Sox to get a new stadium, but Dave Stewart from the other side trying to go, hey, MLB, you want another Oakland situation on your hands? Because that's what you're going to have soon, unless you just give us that team in Nashville that we've been pestering you about for years.
Yeah.
So all of this on its face is fucked up. And then you realize Dave Stewart and Jerry Reinsdorf are friends. So like, hello. Even more so, this seems like this is ridiculous. And every time I hear news stories, especially when something leaks, you know, like when something leaks from an organization, the first thing I always think is, why is this leaking? Mm-hmm. Why is this coming out? Because
you to know
it's almost always intentional, right? Like, so why do they want you to know this? It's every business does this, right? Like every business, like, oh, this I can't believe this got out that I have such a huge dick. You know, like
tragic.
and
Do you
that's
have
what
access
this
to my
feels
laptop
like.
too, Treasy, or what? What is the deal here?
What's going on?
What's going on? I have no idea.
Did you guys hear that MSS doesn't like to jog in public? But it's because his dick's so big. So, like, you know, it's like...
That's why.
Trees, you're
I don't know.
correct.
Am I off? Am I?
No, you're
okay.
100% correct. And the thing is it's like this is when you think about how you could do things and manipulate the media in the 90s. This is what you would do. So you're like, okay, we're gonna get a plan together to get a new stadium. Okay, what's the plan? Okay, first we're gonna be at the winter meetings. Okay, all right, then we're gonna go talk to the mayor. Okay, yeah. Let's talk to the mayor. Okay, and then we're going to put out just enough stuff so people go, oh, he was there just vouching for Dave Stewart, who's his buddy, about getting a stadium there or bidding an expansion team to build there. He's not really looking to sell. You know why he's not looking to sell? Because we're going to announce 2 months later that we're going to build a new stadium in 78, right? We just need $2 billion of public funding and everyone just to bend over backwards for us, right? And so then we're like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, this is great. And then as the story keeps going and they're like, oh, well, let's build the field. Let's show everybody what it looks like. Yeah. We're going to right all the wrongs, right? Jerry came out. Jerry hasn't spoken about, he wrote a shitty letter about fucking losing 121.
We talked about it in detail. It was hilarious. Yes.
He has not spoken about anything, but he did come out and speak and say, listen, we flat out cannot compete where we are at right now. We need a new place. You know, we can't sell tickets on a Tuesday night over here, on 35th and Shields because, oh, God, it's so dangerous. So goddamn dangerous. You know, so if we move it 2 blocks up, it's fine. But, yeah, no, he's like, yeah, I got to come out and I'm going to tell everybody how we need this and this is what we need, blah, 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 blah. And then it kind of like goes away for a while. And then you don't hear about it because you know why? Because the Sox are sucking major cock live all over the place, right? They're not doing well. You're like, this is not a good time to like talk about building a new stadium. This is not time about moving, because if we talk about moving, everyone's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. You're not even winning games. We don't need you. What do we care? So then everything settles down. Jerry's like, I'm going to make it right with the fan base. I'm going to type in apology letter in Chat GPT, and this something's going to pop up, and then I'm going to release it, and we're going to have it, and people are going to be like, okay, we feel good. Jerry has righted the wrong of a team losing the most losses in fucking MLB history. He has righted it. And then, they've gotten rid of all the players that we don't like anymore. Yohan Moncada's probably not coming back. Eli's gone. We're getting all these people out. So now I'm back in the good graces of people. Perfect fucking timing right now, okay? I want to distract everybody from the fucking craziness that is people are buying antennas for their fucking TVs in 2024. And I'm going to come out and say, hey, listen, I'm open to selling this team. Well, of course he is. He's always been open to selling it, but I'm going to throw it out there now. And I got a perfect thing. Hey, remember what we talked about at the beginning of the year? Remember what we did at the winter meetings? How everyone got all riled up? We just put Dave Stewart's name next to this shit, and there people are going to go crazy, right? So we're like, oh, I'm thinking about selling to Dave Stewart. Everyone's like, holy shit, I can connect the dots too, motherfucker. Dave Stewart wants to go to fucking Nashville. That was a rumor. Now he's going to buy it. We're fucked. Team's moving. Gabe's going bananas, going so bananas that his mom has to tell him to chill the fuck out because he's lost his mind. The Bears are doing so good that Gabriel is like, he's in a new world. And then Jerry's got to come over the top like fucking, one of those wrestler guys that he likes and just fucking give him the fucking stone cold stunner. And he's just like, shit. The Sox are going to leave. And then probably the Bears will go to Arlington and his life is over and he's going to be pissed. So, listen, folks, no, the Sox have always been for sale for as a business person that Jerry is. If anyone makes him an offer to buy something, he's going to sell it. I think what the weird thing is that we don't know how much that he actually owns and why everyone thinks that it's Jerry's decision. Like there's a whole board of people that are probably going to vote on this, right? Like they're going to make the decision.
I don't think all the 90-year-old dudes on there that still own stakes are going to be like, let's hold out for more money.
Exactly.
So,
Hang on a minute.
It is it is
Like
Jerry's decision at this point.
You think it's his decision still? Like
Yeah,
even
I
if
think it
even
is.
if George Lucas's mom, wife has got like a shitload
Or
of
his mom.
I wanted to say baby's mama, but I don't know if that's the case. It's been hilarious to watch a lot of this stuff go down. I got into the trenches on Reddit, and some guy was like saying to me, he's like, "Hey, he's like, you're expecting the owner or this owner or the next owner to come in to spend a bunch of money to get a good team and just hope people show up." And I go, "Yes, that's exactly what I'm expecting an owner to do." And like, don't treat this franchise like an investment. Treat it like a fucking sports team and try to win. I want an owner with some type of competitiveness, which I think is gone. Like, it's being treated as an investment, a shitty investment, but one that still was paying off as long as there was a regional sports network. But now that's gone. The printing of money has stopped. So now you have to put some effort in. And that's why I think Jerry probably does want to get out and just be like, you know what? I'm done. Next guy. Come on in.
I had a couple thoughts. Let me try to tie up some of what you said here. I kind of agree with what MSS is saying and what you're saying, Treasy, because you've heard the term before in corporate speak. We have to socialize this idea, right? And what that means is you're not selling to the person today. What you need to do is get it in their head and make them kind of understand the concepts, make them understand what could possibly happen. So to me, this just felt like further socialization. It felt like, okay, like MSS said, you did the thing then, you're doing this thing now. No one believes this is going to happen yet, but you're kind of just keeping the bug in your ear. There's also a level of, people are saying it's a leverage play, and I think it's a weak one. However, you got to think of leverage in two different ways. Leverage one of like, make the public really fucking believe you're leaving. Or leverage in, give the legislature enough bullshit so that they could give you some money, so they could support it.
So that there could be people in there pushing that narrative.
Correct. It doesn't, exactly. It doesn't need to pass muster. It's like, this has definitely happened. It could be enough that it's like, this is enough of a story. We can get behind and say, look, we really wanted to develop the 78, and we don't want to lose the White Sox. And maybe there's not a big risk, but there's a small risk, so we decided we allocated this amount of money. And like, it feels like that is really what you're seeing right here. In my opinion.
The people in their pocket are now going to be going to the rest of the legislature and go, do you want to be the motherfucker who said no to this and lost the White Sox?
Right.
Because we're going to put this up for a vote now, because we're going to see if we get this money across, because I'm getting a kickback of this money. And
Right.
I already own 6 condos that look over into the 78
There's
stadium
also
area.
a lot of strength in the fact that they want to develop that area. And if no one's developed it yet, well, someone's going to put some money in there to get somebody to develop it, right? The government's going to put some money in there for someone to develop some shit. So they're going to say, well, why not now? Why couldn't we do it now?
Would be incredible.
Socialization.
Would be incredible if JB came out of nowhere and said, fuck the Bears, fuck the Sox, the Chicago Fire getting a new stadium in the 78.
What I don't understand is real estate is at a premium in the city of Chicago. If you put up a bunch of housing there, or put up whatever, you could build the thing without having an anchor of a sports team that just lost 121 games, right? Like to think that
could you? Because no one has done it, my Sox number. I'm basing this on empiricism. No one has done it for a long time.
The problem
that's what I'm saying. That's the issue.
Is that there's a lot of underlying infrastructure costs to build anything there. And so building housing there, you'd have to make every condo $1 million.
Yeah.
And like that is not something that people are like dying for. Like, so it's like, it's not as easy as it sounds to just go like, let's just slap 3 or 4 condo buildings up there and we're all good.
I understand that. The reason they want the Sox there is because if we put the Sox there, then they'll put all of the city stuff is just going to go right in, because the Sox need to be there and they got to do all this. It's like going to take the hit for like everything else, and plus it'll be publicly funded. So you're just like, let's just work out perfect. Like, like it's just such an asinine.
The publicly funded part is the big part for everybody involved.
For everyone, not just the Sox. Anyone developing there, it is.
Free money is always the best kind.
Well, I get that.
And that's what everyone's holding out for in that spot. They're like, We need the free money in first, then we'll put our money in. And that's kind of been the struggle for 50 years or however long it's been that people have considered building over there. You know,
I would throw $50 in once the first $2 billion's in.
Goes in, exactly. I'll put my money in after that. A couple other things. My Sox Summer was saying he could see Jerry like just saying, "Oh, he wants to throw in the towel or whatever." But to me, it doesn't follow any of his previous actions. So if he were going to do that, let's say he was like, okay, he saw the RSN thing coming. And he talked about that a couple years ago, right? Apparently, so he knew it saw coming. And all this shit. If he was really going to throw in the towel, he wouldn't have gutted his front office. He wouldn't have tried to make a sports network. He would let MLB catch the TV stuff like all these other goofy teams are doing. They have no idea what they're doing. Like, oh, our fucking RSN left us. MLB put our fucking games on. He would have put no effort into any of this shit, and he would have said he would have got rid of it. I'm going to ask a question, and Teresa, you probably do, and I know I do. Do you know any people, do you ever associate with any people who are worth 9 figures? 9 figures? Probably, right? 1 or 2? Okay.
Well, yeah, nine, yeah.
9 figures, yeah. So not quite a billionaire, but above $100 million, whatever.
Yeah, I know a couple people.
I do too. Those people, they like money, but really what they care about is power and winning and being in the game. They like to be a player, okay? Jerry likes to be a player. He likes to be in the game. He likes to be part of it. I don't think at his age, he's like cashing out to like get profits or whatever. He wants to be fucking in this thing. He likes being in that. He likes being Jerry Reinsdorf. What the fuck is he going to do if he sells? What's he going to do, MSS? He says, that's his little hobbies. Like, guys like this, kind of, they don't throw it in like that. They want to play. They want to play in the game.
To me, it's
not
more, to me, it's more that he would be going like, I am setting everything up for my kids and for and my grandkids to have all this in place, and I'll just hang out at the United Center where the TV station's on, and I'm welcome. And like that's what, when I wrote the article, at the beginning of the season, that's where I was thinking. Like, it seemed like he was setting everybody up to be in a position, like all the loyal people to me, you're gonna have every chance to succeed in the next generation without me. Right, like, because you'd have the new TV station, right? Like, so even if a new owner comes in and says, "Hey, Brooks, you're not doing the marketing for the sales for the Sox," he's locked into that job over at the station, right? He's helping run the station. So you've got his son will keep the team on the west side, the
Bulls, yeah.
Right? Like, so all these things are like, he's got Chris Getz, he's given him a chance. You're a GM now. It's your job to lose, right? Like, all these different things, he kind of just put people in place. And that's why I felt like he's doing all these things. He's trying to land a new stadium. This is his exit. But I didn't think his exit would be, I'm going to sell to my buddy and move him to Nashville. And I still don't believe that. That just doesn't track with the way that it felt.
No, and Loaf, I would only contend that he is not. If you want to be part of something, right? Yeah. Like, and want to be a mover and a shaker,
want to be the guy.
You have to do more than fucking cashing coupons and using your your deposit bonuses from DraftKings to like try to fucking create shit. Like, the guy has got so much fucking money that he refuses to spend on something that he claims to love. Like, and I don't understand that.
I know. Don't think of it in terms of money.
He loves to win.
Yeah, you keep thinking about it
don't think about it in terms of money, because it's more about like the game or like being in. It's like being in the clique. He doesn't want to be out of the circle. Basically, is my thought.
Right.
He likes being in the circle. He's not as powerful as he used to be. Right, his power has diminished. After Bud Selig left, that was his buddy and shit. But he still has some power. He still has some say or want in there. And I don't think he would want to lose that. That's the way I look at kind of like him selling. To me, I always going to think it's fake until he actually does it, just because I think that's all he's living for at this point, man. His spouse passed away. Like, this is kind of his thing,
I think he like one of the things that you said, he's like, if he was like didn't care, he wouldn't have like tried to clean house. And I think Trees is half right. I think he is trying to set people up with jobs and stuff. But I also think that he realizes that if you like, the team was in such fucking shambles and was like, I don't want to say they were a laughing stock in the MLB because I don't know if they were, but people knew that there was like really bad problems over on 35th and Shields. So like if those people didn't get out, he knew that it was going to be like a weird situation trying to sell this like broken fucking thing, right? Like, so he's like, I at least on the face have to make it look a little better so that a potential buyer will be like, look at, they're getting their shit together, they're coming back around, you know, which I think is just, it's just a ploy anyway. It's just the look nice. It's not really because a new owner could come in and be like, I'm gonna fire every fucking person that's here. I don't give a
all the
fuck.
things you fixed like, them wrong. I'm getting something else.
You can fix however you do this. It's like the guy that's like, our kitchen sucks, so I'm gonna remodel it for the next buyer, and then the new buyer comes in and is like, this kitchen sucks. I'm fucking getting rid of this fucking shit. You know, like why would you do that? Let the person that actually wants to do it, you know, and own it and live there, fucking do what they want. Don't fucking put the chandelier in the kitchen. Okay, just don't do that. Just,
I got one harebrained thought here, guys. You shoot me down on this first. Who broke this news right here? Do you know who broke it?
I don't. No.
It's
Rick Giroli.
It's the guy from the New York Times that like wrote like a real scathing article.
It's a woman. It's a woman.
A woman. Yes.
Yeah. Did she write anything recently on SS or what? About the White Sox? Has she written anything recently about the Sox?
From what I heard, this is all I've been reading, is that it was a scathing expose on Jerry.
Right. Is it possible that the White Sox or someone on their side floated this bullshit rumor to her, and then she puts it out there and like, that's total bullshit. Don't believe anything this person breaks. And they're trying, and as far as I know, her credibility is great. But having one bullshit thing out there, it's like, well, she'll eat it up because she was really going after us. We'll let her have this one. And then, oh, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. This is total bullshit. You shouldn't believe anything you read about. I thought that ran through my head like kind of immediately. I was like, did they feed this to her on purpose? Because they're like, this is total, and everyone's going to say it's bullshit. And it's like, why are you breaking bullshit, man? This doesn't make sense.
I don't know what you think, Sharizi, but I don't think that that's the case. I think what probably happened is like this person did a really good job, like breaking into like getting the story right and doing the right thing. I'm going to give her a scoop just so that, you know, because I like the way she like demolished me.
It's all okay.
Yeah, I like it.
First of all, MSS, like this is you defending the Sox again. This is they would never do something like that. No. Oh, they would want the best reporter possible for this scenario. So that's why they did it.
Maybe they like the way she did it.
What? Like
maybe she's got a I don't know.
I don't even know how to like encapsulate everything that you just said. Like it's just like it doesn't make sense.
Well, Tracy, am I way off, man? Or is that possible?
I think it's a little bit out there. I think it's a little bit conspiracy theorist. I do think that like
I'm wrong. Though.
This person has obviously made connections with people that know things within the org, right? Because like I didn't read that thing and think this is all bullshit. I
didn't either.
and so like I think they have developed some connections. They got this from somebody that's a connection. Now, is that person who's a connection getting fed all the best information? Maybe not. Maybe people realized this ain't the best person to be talking to.
That person let some shit out. Let's hear this.
They knew this thing that's in there, and I think it's probably that guy that said this. So, like, I don't know. Maybe they're on the kind of outskirts of the information, and they're just getting fed some of the company line bullshit that's supposed to be out there for everybody.
John Carney brings up a great point. He says she's a legit reporter, and I agree. She has a good reputation. Why would she knowingly let them use her for like this? I think there is a level of, and I saw White Sox Dave tweet this out. There's a level of everyone in the public, especially the national media, not so much local, are taking their shots at the White Sox for clicks, basically. Now, it doesn't mean that shit they're saying isn't true. I believe it. So I think there is a level of, hey, if we have something scandalous about the Sox, run it because it's going to get numbers. So in that respect, John, I think anyone would kind of like, does this sound semi-reasonable that could be true? Yeah, let's run it. and then people forget about it in 2 months. But
Well-
so yeah, I think someone could, even a legitimate reporter could get fed some bullshit.
Even if someone comes out and says this is a total bullshit story, that's not true. Who would you believe?
Right.
Right?
You want to
Because,
believe
like-
the worst about the
'cause,
Sox
like-
anyway. You can make
But
anything about the Sox.
it's not even believing the worst, right? It's like 80-something-year-old owner might sell to a guy who's
He knows.
a friend.
Right?
Like, that's a reasonable. Like, if we just made that up this morning and put it out there, people would be like, "Yeah, that's reasonable.
Wow, that's happening, isn't it?
Yeah." So
I mean,
exactly. That's
Treasy.
my point, kind of. You know.
We did open the segment with you saying how much of a bullshit thing it is, right? Like it's a legit story, but it's the truth behind it is straight bullshit.
People-
like, we know that it's
people
just
that
a
are
ploy.
ingrained in the White Sox and think about the White Sox every day for at least 4 hours a day look at this and go, this smells like bullshit. But anyone reading this story is outside of that small bubble, right? And they're probably like, that makes sense. Old guy sells team.
I mean, how many times? I mean, this is what when people start to realize, like that I do this, right? And so I become the White Sox insider for that group or that person or whatever. And I think I answered, are the White Sox moving to Nashville more times this season than I did? Are the White Sox going to win a game this season?
Sure.
Like people like asked about that more than anything else. They're like, are they really going to go to Nashville? And I was like, no.
So why wouldn't, if everybody's
So it's
asking
just
you
like
that, why
playing
wouldn't
right
they
in.
believe
Right.
that Dave Stewart's going to buy the team?
Right. Because, I mean, they believed that he was going to buy the Marlins. He was going to buy some, what other, the A's, the Diamondbacks.
Big news.
everybody.
I don't think he got the greenbacks behind him.
No.
I'm going to guess that.
him and his-
they ain't got the money. I'm going to guess.
Him and his crew are moving the Rays from Tampa to Nashville because the stadium's fucked up.
I also read that he is going into these in negotiations thinking he's going to get a deal. Like they're going to sell it to him for less than cost. And I was like, I want to be the person that's
Allegedly.
selling a Major League Baseball team for less than cost. I mean, this is the guy I want to meet.
We really like you. We'll just give it to you for $1 billion.
Right.
How's that sound?
You want to
Take all you want. Pay us back whenever. Or don't.
Good shit.
All right, I appreciate you guys blowing up my hair, Brad. I just thought it was funny anyway. So
We're gonna find out it's true, and then we're gonna have to hear it forever, MSS.
me and
Like,
Cole
you-
to
no.
the
beef was right, and then like we would never hear the end of it.
I can't wait till they say that they really like that reporter, and you guys can all suck my balls. It's going to be great.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm sure that's gonna happen. All right, so
It's dumb.
so Beef, you wanted to play a little game with us, kind of jigsaw style here. So like
And the
you
fans.
said, what
And the
we're gonna
fans.
pick the next White Sox manager. Beef, lay it on us. Give us the rules of the game.
Absolutely. So there has been a lot of heat out there on the internets. Our friend Josh Nelson's been breaking a lot of news. But to avoid giving him too much credit, I wanted to play a game for us to pick the manager. Now, we're just fans, and everyone in the comments, you can play along too. And the winner of this is going to get some free merch from us. Okay, we'll keep track of your selections in the comments, or you can DM us at the 108 account with your selections here. But we're going to go through 5 criterion here for picking a new manager. Now, we're not doing names. You're not get to pick who you want. We're going to do it by characteristics of each person. And so the three of us will do it here on air, and anyone in the comments, feel free to jump in. And the winner is going to get some merch. So question number 1 for the White Sox manager game criterion here is, will this person be a former Royal? Yes or no? Teresa E. first.
I'm gonna say no. I feel like
Okay.
a lot of the Royals stuff was Chris Getz comes in. He's trying to surround himself with people that he is familiar with, and hence there were a lot of Royals. There are an equal amount of Braves that came in to the
True.
Royals.
That's
stuff.
true.
So like the Royals were kind of like his like, I know this person, I trust this person, I'm bringing them in. That was his like kind of safety net. I don't think that this manager falls into that scenario. So I'm gonna say no on former Royal.
Beautiful. My Sox summer, will the new manager hire be a former Royal? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
I also, I mean, I would like to go against Chirizi and say yes, but I think that ship has totally sailed.
This one.
Martin was the last guy to sink the ship. It wasn't even Pedro. It was like bringing this old ass catcher over and him doing jack shit.
Yep.
No, we this is not going to be a former Royal.
I'm with you guys. I also said no. I agree. I agree with your sentiment in that when he was filling out some internal spots, he picked some Royals because they're people that he trusted and whatever knew. But on the going forward, I think he might even purposefully go against just to avoid all the bullshit that comes with some of that stuff. So I say no. A lot of the comments are also saying no. So, all right, that's question number 1. Will the person be a former Royal or not? Question number 2. Will this manager have played for Tony La Russa in the past at some point? My Sox summer first, yes or no? Play for Tony La Russa in the past.
I mean, while that is a big net, okay,
it's a big net. It's a big net. And there's at least one real prominent guy in there who did definitely play for.
I think there's 2, right?
That could be right.
Two?
Yeah.
Is that the people that were
Descalso? Definitely.
Descalso and Schumacher is like.
That's right. Those are the 2. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and they're both big names known for this, so potentially.
Because they've already announced it. And we know that these are the 2 guys that they're looking at and have targeted already.
They got a big net right now, of potential guys.
Still a big net, right?
Yep.
I'm still gonna go with no. I think that there is just, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of people. For some reason, in my brain, and I don't know why this is, former player is not really. It's not pinning for me. Like I don't think it's going to be a former player
at all.
I think they're going to go more analytic, and more like.
The thing is, some of the former players are big analytics guys now.
Yeah.
We've gotten to that era of where it is.
I get it, but I'm not trying to diminish players because, like, obviously Brian Bannister, huge numbers guy.
Yeah,
won't come on our podcast, but huge numbers guy.
Well, you never know.
So I'm going to go with no on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Treasy, what do you think? Having played for Tony La Russa, yes or no?
I'm going no just because I don't think Schumacher will want this job. I think that he's just like, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities this offseason. I think that there's going to be no shortage of opportunities for him. And for him to go to another team similar to where he just was, where it's like, not only is it like you've got kind of like a bad team, but you also have like no game plan towards where you're going, like no discernible one.
Right.
It's tough for me to think that he's going to go like, yes, I'm going to jump right back into that if he could get a much better team, right? Like so I think that's like him, and then Descalso, that's just one of like 10 guys now,
right?
So I got to play the odds and go, it's going to be one of the other 10 guys, right? Like so, I'm going to say no on the La Russa thing.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say no, just playing the percentages. But the fact that 2 prominent guys are kind of like, it does like throw a little doubt in your mind as to where it could.
Yeah, I mean, like if we're looking at, let's say we're looking at 10 guys, 20% of them played for it, right? Like so like you initially are like, well, I might want to bet on that, but like in this case, like I feel like Schumacher's just not gonna happen, and so like, and then it gets to a worse odds, and I'm just like. I like saying Descalso. It's a great name, but I don't think he's going to be here.
All right. Question number 3. So this is a little different choice here. Manager will be over under 5'11.5" tall. So the person's going to be either 6 feet or taller or 5'11" or shorter. Teresa E., you're first. Where do you fall on the height range here for the next White Sox manager?
I should have looked up the guys that I like and seeing how tall they are.
Yes, you should have.
So I'm going to go a different direction here.
Okay.
I'm just going to say over. I'm just going to say it over because I think that Chris Getz likes to have tall, handsome men around him. Just by the way he looks at Grady Sizemore. All right? So like I'm gonna go over 6 foot. I'm gonna say
over 6 foot. Okay, got it.
Now I don't know how many guys. I might have limited my choices to one dude.
Well, you know what's funny? I originally
Clay McCullough's 7 foot.
I originally had it right at 6 foot. And then George Lombard came into the list. He's the bench coach for the Tigers. He's exactly 6 foot. So I couldn't have it where one guy could be a tie. I didn't want a tie on here. So you had to make it 5'11 and a half and over under. My Sox number, where are you at? Would you like over under 5'11 and a half? I think they're pretty split. When I was looking up some of the heights, I think it's pretty evenly distributed, to be honest with you.
I also did not go and look at things, as I like to go into things blind also. But Rick Renneria, 5'9". Tony La Russa, 6'1", allegedly. I don't think that that's the case. Pedro Grifol, same thing, 6'1". I don't think that's legit either. These are Andrew Vaughn heights. They're going to Grady Sizemore, 6'2". That probably is legit. Yeah, he's an actual thing. This is the one that I can't. 5'11 and a half is big. I mean, I'm going to go under. Because even if you're 5'10", 5'10 is a nice average height, and it's considered tall. Like 5'8", 5'10", like that's
5'10 is above average. Average height's about 5'9".
So I'm gonna go with under. I'm gonna go the under 5'11 and a half.
Okay.
Beef. I just looked it up. Donnie Ecker, 6'4". I'm good.
Okay,
I'm feeling.
So
I
knew that. So I knew Donnie Ecker 6'4", Will Venable 6'3". Those are my two favorite ones.
Baby.
So I'm going over only because of the bias there. But the distribution is pretty even. A lot of the guys are 5'11 or 5'10". There's only a couple guys that are tall like that. Like I told you, George Lombard's 6 foot. He just barely ticks over there. So it's going to be pretty close. And the comments seem split. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of unders in there. One over. So anyway, that was number 3. Number 4, I think this is like an important tiebreaker as well. Is the manager going to be a former big league manager? So someone who's actually managing the dugout. A current big league coach, or neither? Teresa E., you go first.
I think current big league coach.
Go first twice in a row. Cool. Fuck me.
I think current big league coach is going to be the thing here, because I think they're looking for somebody, I would assume, who's got experience in the dugout and that they can look to and point at and say, like, this person has had some level of control and impact on a team.
Okay.
But I don't think that in terms of former managers, there's a lot of guys that would come to the Sox that are like a guy that you would actually want. Right. Like, so again, Schumacher is like the guy. I don't think he's coming here. So like he's out. So we're going to play this back when Schumacher gets the job.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look like a huge asshole.
Well, I mean,
but then like I didn't believe the Showalter thing. Like I didn't buy that. That doesn't seem like you're not bringing in Showalter and go like, here's a bunch of guys. It's going to take 5 years to be good. Hope you're alive.
Now I should clarify this point though. I said former big league manager, but it could be like current big league manager. So Grady would fit that, right? So I mean, it's like manager or a guy as a coach, So
that's a good point. That's a good
Grady
point.
fits, and then also Sergio Santos is not a current big league coach. So the internal candidates both are outside of the current big league coach pile. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you're saying you will say current big league coach, but not manager, Treasy. MSS, what do you think here?
It's the same thing I was going to say, current big league coach. That just seems like the opportunity, because if you're already if already been a former big league manager, right? You're like, I can at least hold out for a better job than this. Somebody might get in a pinch or something and need somebody, so I'll step in and I can do that. Your job, the job that is on 35th and Shields right now is entry level, okay? And like, you're not going to get the top candidate that come in and be like, yes, I totally want to run a team that that is based on not spending any kind of money whatsoever. It's not something that a guy that has done this before is like, yes, I'm totally fine with not having the right facilities. I'm totally fine with having the shitty plane. I'm totally fine with being a laughingstock with my friends because I'm managing the team that just lost 121 games last season, or doesn't believe in analytics, is finally turned around to like a 2000 business model versus the 90s that you've been operating on for a long time. I definitely think a big league coach is somebody that's what's going to happen. Pedro Grifol had no other opportunity to ever be a manager of any baseball team ever. He spent his life.
A lot of people don't.
No, right? He spent his life with the Kansas City Royals, and they even said, buddy, we can't do it. And we snapped them up. So I think that we're going to get a coach from some other team that was like, hopefully better than Pedro, or maybe streaking, doing good on the way up versus on the way down. So we'll see what happens.
So current big league coach, I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be some current big league coach, but not a manager, someone who's kind of waiting in the wings. So I agree with that. Last thing, and this one's the toughest one. My Sox Summer, you're going to go first here.
Okay.
We need to know the date of the hire. So this is like a baby pool. You're going to pick what is the date that this person gets hired, and this will be kind of the tiebreaker for anyone who gets the first 4 right, which there could be potential that a lot of people do. So if you're in the comments or watching this or whatever, make sure you put a date in there. Some date. My Sox Summer, you go first.
I just got to go check a little calendar here.
What day is Thanksgiving?
Well, I mean, okay, so Thanksgiving.
What does date mean?
Thanksgiving's on the 28th.
Christmas Day.
It's Thursday.
The dates are hilarious in the comments. Chris Ward, February 1st.
Okay. I have found my
James
date.
says December 16th. I hope not. I hope
Okay.
it's not that long.
December 13th is actually the date that I'm picking.
December 13th.
December 13th.
Okay.
It's a Friday. It's the second week in December. Seems about right.
You will be farthest from the pin. I would get, well, actually, these commenters are farthest from the pin who are saying December and February. It's not going to take that goddamn long. Jared says January 6th. All right, can we not do that? All right, let's not do that. All right, that's not a serious guess right there.
March 17th.
Tom's like, we're going to be minutes from opening day and say, well, I guess we'll finally hire a manager here. I don't know. I assume it's going to be soon.
Hopefully.
But
So I'm gonna go a little Prices Right here, looking at the comments and looking how far off MSS was.
Oh, feel free. Make fun all you want, bitch.
No, far out. I'm saying far out. Like like you're going into mid-December.
I thought you said far off.
It is far off, but like
Yeah,
far
it's
off
far
of today's date of today's date.
from now.
Okay.
So you said, what would you say? December what?
December 13th. It's
13th.
Friday.
Okay. So if I said November 20th, I'm basically good any day before December 13th, right? Like, because or is it I can't go? I can't
No, you
go.
can't. Closest to the pin, so either direction. But I haven't picked my date yet, Treasy.
I
so,
know.
I can
You're
pick
gonna you're gonna have to be in between one of these, but I'm gonna say November 13th.
Okay, November 13th. So you think the World Series will be long over by the time they actually make?
Yeah, I
this
mean,
happen?
like I'm actually hoping it's like November 1st, but I'm giving myself a little cushion to see where you land.
That's the exact
I'm
date.
forcing you. I'm forcing you, Beef, to come in like real early.
I am. So there's so much heat. If people are getting all these names or whatever, and they're like they're interviewing people and all this shit or whatever, they may just be waiting for the League Championship Series to end to do it. And so the League Championship Series will be over early next week. So I'm going to pick Wednesday, October 23rd. That's next Wednesday.
My
I'm going to pick
God,
next
no.
Wednesday as the hire. Now, I think it's possible that you might be right, Treasy, and they'll wait till after the World Series and like just after the series ends, then they hire someone, and you're going to end up being a little closer than I am because you've got actually it'll be pretty close.
Like,
it'll be pretty close. Like if it's like early November, we're going to be
the
real
midpoint.
close to like the midpoint's
Isn't
like
there
the
The
rules,
midpoint's like
though?
Halloween. Like Halloween is like
Well, you got the 20th. No, you got November 20th.
I said 13th.
Oh,
I
you said 13th.
13th.
I'm sorry.
13th.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
I said
yeah.
I was
yeah.
trying to. The 20th was where I was saying like I would be the midpoint between MSS and today.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. 13th. Yeah. So about Halloween. So yeah. So it's basically whether or not they hire before the World Series or after the World Series is kind of where you and I are at. I could see it going either way. But I don't think it's going to last much longer than that.
I thought they wouldn't let you, or not that they wouldn't let you, but it was like the unwritten rules. Like you don't announce anything during the World Series. You wait
Correct,
till
but you
post-World Series.
you could announce it between though.
Right.
You could go in the middle if you want to, like because there's days in between when the Championship Series starts and when the World Series starts. There's a
Man.
window in there.
I got Xavier McDaniel in my head, like Steve, don't come yet. Like this, it's like.
But the
Gets,
thing
like,
is-
right to Gets.
The
like,
thing is,
stop.
like, if you were going to like, this is one of those things that you need to do so that you could start assembling everything else,
Right.
Right, because one of the things that's going to have to be decided here, MSS, is like this guy comes in, who stays from the staff,
Right.
Like, so
Yeah,
who's
I
he
get it.
replacing? What do you do with Grady Sizemore? Is Bannister staying? Is Katz staying? Who's your hitting coach? Like, all those things have to be decided alongside of getting ready to jump into free agency. And now I know they're not going to be like big players in free agency, but they could be big players in the trade market, and they could be getting guys off of the scrap heap as people are getting non-tendered, things like that. So like all of those things, you need the manager in place when you're going to start doing those. And so that's kind of why I think it'll be fast. I don't know that it'll be as fast as Beef is saying.
The November 2nd is the predicted last day of the World Series. It wins 7 games. So if it goes shorter than that, November 1st and 2nd are right in the middle of us, Tracy. We're like right in the middle. Like, I could land perfectly there. It's like World Series ends in 5 games, and then they announce it on November 1 or 2. Like, we're right fucking straddling that thing. It's ridiculous. So anyway, that's the game. Thanks for participating. A lot of people in the comments did participate. So I'll tally all that stuff up. I'll throw in a spreadsheet. Whoever ends up winning will get some free merch. Actually, you don't even have to beat us. If we end up winning, but one of you from the comments is the best one, I'll send you a free shirt or a hat or something like that. So,
Can't wait till they hire.
Thanks for playing along.
December. You can't wait till the December hire happens.
Skip Schumacher, December 25th. That's what's going to happen, MSS.
Merry Christmas, hoes.
It'll be Christmas Day, and I'll get a text from MSS. Fuck you, Trees, you stupid fuck.
Oh, and tell your folks and family I said. Hey, guess what time it is, Treasy?
Time to pay some bills. I love the devil. The devil drives a European Mazda, or English. I should say. It's a driver's on the other side, or is that like a driver's ed car?
It's just a demon, man. The demon knows no rules.
You know what?
He does not follow your fucking American rules, bro.
Mazda's the oldest sponsor of this show right here. I would love it if we go to opening day and we run into Eric and he curses out MSS for that. It would make my entire life. I loved it, but I was like, I would love it if he's like, what the fuck was that ad read around Halloween you were doing out there? Was that death metal?
It is.
He's a big guy too. He'd be intimidating, yelling at you. That'd be so funny.
Eric is a big dude. He
is a big dude. I also am a big dude. So I mean, we got a lot of big dude energy going on.
But you getting yelled at and looking like a huge pussy would be so funny. Like, Treasy, come on,
Yeah, I mean, and he's one of those dudes that like he's such a nice guy, but that like he's definitely been in a fight before where like it was one punch and the other person was in an ambulance. So
man, awesome. That'd be a great opening day. I'll be in the ambulance. You guys will.
MSS, I do talk about you like that, like I did earlier, but it's more about your giant penis than it is about your fists. So
which
like,
is all respect. That's all respect right there.
Take your wins where you can get them. All right.
The giant penis has put several people in the hospital too.
Allegedly.
Guess what we're bringing back, boys?
Welcome to My Sox Summer Spooky Story Time. Holy shit, this is really scary.
Yes. That is my kindergarten and age daughter saying shit all over the internet for the second year in a row. She is no longer in kindergarten. She's in first grade, so she could say the F word this time. But so do story time every once in a while. We're getting close to, the Devil's Eve, the Hallows Eve, Halloween. And it was like, I'm going to do a story about some freaky shit, right? Like some spooky shit again. Now, I'm a huge fan of horror. Like, I'm not like the biggest horror fan, but I am a huge fan of Friday the 13th. And I was like,
nice.
I need to find out if Friday the 13th was actually based on a true story. Now, I went and looked. Yeah, trust me.
Wow. Hello, let's
I'm
go, baby. Let's
interested.
go.
I'm
Let's
intrigued.
go.
So I go and look. So I look first. I looked up all their franchises too. Like I looked up Halloween. Halloween, not based on a real true story, but the name is a person that they both knew, and the kid is apparently like the Michael Myers kid is based on a kid that they saw in a mental institution when John Carpenter saw when he was in Western Kentucky psychiatric school or something. I don't know. He did something on a school trip or something and saw this kid, and the kid had the look of death in his eyes, right? So the Michael Myers case was, or like character was based on this kid. The name is a friend of theirs. Now, as far as you can tell, there is no Jason Voorhees. That did not happen. He did not die, and then his mom went crazy and went through and killed everybody at Camp Crystal Lake. But the movies were based loosely around fucking actual events. And not only are they actual events, but guess what, Chirizi?
What?
Oh, I fucked up. The crime is also unsolved. That's right. So tonight, me, my sock summer, I'm gonna bring to you the unsolved mystery of the Lake Bottom Murders. I love that song. I could honestly
repeat the name of it. I think
Lake Bottom Murders.
Lake Bottom. Okay.
Lake Bottom.
Robert Stack's so jealous right now.
Oh, dude. Robert Stack is fucking major rager hard in his coffin right now. Like, you know what? He probably is.
I'm with Jared. He says, thanks. That song gives me nightmares. Yeah, we are the right age where when that thing came on and you'd watch it, you're like,
so
holy
scary.
shit, this person's out there.
So fucking terrifying.
That house in the middle of nowhere getting burned down.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I'm sweating, or it's so hot outside. You need that breeze, but you got to shut all the windows just in case some guy tries to creep in and like stab you to death with an ice pick. So anyway, the Lake Bottom Murders. On Saturday, the 4th of June in 1960, 4 Finnish teenagers had decided to camp along the shore of Lake Bottom while on a motorcycle trip. Sometime between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., the early morning hours of Sunday, June 5th, Anya, Malia, and Seppo were all stabbed and bludgeoned to death by an unknown assailant. Niles Gustafsson was the only survivor of the massacre. He had a fractured facial bones that appeared to confirm his story of being a victim. He stated afterwards that he had seen a glimpse of the attacker clothed in black with bright red eyes coming for them. Now, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos today. One guy said it was clearly Satan that came in and got him because he had the red eyes. I don't know. I'm not here to confirm or deny it. Could have been.
He was driving a Mazda.
He was driving a Mazda. A demon.
That was a getaway car.
Is a demon. About 6 a.m., a group of boys bird watching, which is just crazy. In Finland, 6 a.m., boys are out. They're like, hey, let's go look for some birds. You know what they were doing? Smoking the weed. Exactly. So their bird watchings from distance away had reportedly seen the tent that they were all staying in collapsed, and a blonde man walked away from the site. The bodies of the victims were discovered then at 11 a.m. by a carpenter, not Jesus. So the Jesus.
Well, we're combining stories here.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the clarification. MSS is doing a good job.
It was a guy lived in the neighborhood who just happened to be a carpenter. It wasn't Jesus. He was not born of a virgin mother and a father who yelled at her every night and said, well, how did this happen? Okay, so the killer had not injured the victims from inside the tent, but instead had attacked the occupants from outside with a knife and an unidentified blunt instrument, possibly a rock, through the sides of a tent. The murder weapons have never been located. The killer had taken several items which detectives found puzzling, including the keys to the victims' motorcycles, which themselves had been left behind. Nils's shoes were partially hidden approximately 500 meters from the murder site. Now, 500 meters, that's 1,500 feet for you guys that don't understand meters. Okay. It's probably more than 1,500 feet because I think it's like 3.5 feet in a meter, but whatever. Don't worry about it. My 4th grade teacher told me, he's like,
you guys that don't understand meters. Well, I don't know.
Like me. It's like it's not exactly 3 feet. It's like 3.25, 3.5 or some bullshit. Now,
That was great.
when the victims are fucking put up, right, and they're there, the police do not cordon off the site nor record the details of the scene, which was later seen as a major error. And almost immediately allowed a crowd of police officers and other people to trample around and disturb the evidence. The mistake was further exasperated by calling in soldiers to assist with the search around the lake for the missing items, several of which were never found. Nils's girlfriend, he was the one that survived, was found undressed from the waist down and was lying on top of the tent. She had suffered the most injuries and out of the victims. She was stabbed multiple times after her death, whilst the other 2 teenagers were slain with less brutality. Gustafsson was also found lying on top of the tent. There were 3 initial suspects. The first one was Vladimir Gullstrom. Many local people suspected Carl Vladimir Gullstrom, a kiosk keeper known to have been hostile towards campers. Police found no hard evidence to link him to the actual murders. They were skeptical of the supposed confessions he was said to have made because they considered him disturbed. He drowned in Lake Bottom in 1969, most likely by suicide. The people in the town knew Gillstrom was violent, cut down tents, threw rocks at people who came to his street, and some later said that it was Gillstrom they saw coming back from the murder scene, but were too afraid to call the police about him.
He sounds like a solid suspect. I'm just going to say.
Right? Killed himself 9 years after he murdered 3 people. The police never recovered DNA from Gillstrom. A book released in 2006 brings up that theory in detail. The book also claims that police almost immediately ignored much more evidence that was previously unknown to the public because of language barriers, among other things. Can't figure out what the fuck they're saying. So, it's probably not important.
Gibberish. Yeah.
There was a note in a different language that said, "I killed all these people," and it was signed.
They couldn't figure it out.
By Vlad.
I can't take it anymore. I'm going to go kill myself in the lake. I cannot read this. It's probably fine. The second suspect, and Loaf, you're going to love this, and I'm sure anybody else that loves Seinfeld as much as you guys, Hans Assmann. Most public suspicion focused on Hans Assmann, a German-born and naturalized Finnish citizen who lives several kilometers from the shore of Lake Bottom. Now, kilometers, I have absolutely no fucking idea how to fucking decipher that.
Kilometers.
So it was just several. Yeah, whatever. Don't need
tomato,
to put
tomato. It's fine.
Everyone have a drink.
I got no problem.
Everyone have a drink. You're trying to make me look stupid. Plus, I need a drink. Now, it's not necessarily legit or true, but he was also thought of to be a guard at Auschwitz, and he had moved there to get away. So they was potentially a Nazi and sent people to their death. A series of popular books created a theory of Assmann committing the Bottom killings and other murders. It was not taken seriously by police, as Assmann had an alibi for the night of the Bottom murders and was said to have been in Germany during that time of another murder that happened in the same area.
Are we even going to comment on Assmann being the Bottom killer?
Well, the Bottom killer, and also the girlfriend had bottoms out, like had ass out already during the murder. Like, look at all the clues here back to the Assmann, the Bottom, and then the other Bottom, and Bottom, and all this shit. Like, come on.
They don't talk about if the girl that was like undressed from the waist down was like sexually assaulted. I didn't read that anywhere. I didn't see it anywhere. But she had been like stabbed like so many times in her neck. Like so, like if the guy did that, I mean, you got a sick fuck, right? It's a real sick fuck.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say whoever did this sick fuck, regardless.
Just in general.
Yeah.
So he was not taken seriously. On the morning of June 6, 1960, however, he had shown up at a hospital hospital in Helsinki, which I don't know where that is, with bloody clothes on. He moved to Sweden, where he also died in the late 1990s. Assman was also a suspect in 5 other cases, even confessing to one on his deathbed. So,
wow.
What the fuck? Luckily there was no translation issues with this guy. They just were like, nope, he's probably not the guy he has now. Like, he's fine. He was a Nazi, but hey,
and Assman also a killer, but maybe didn't do this killing. Like, maybe it wasn't his signature. We'll see.
All right, so Helsinki is in Finland, which is where we're talking about. So that's good. Everyone is like, I don't know what the fuck. Everyone.
Helsinki,
right,
yeah, Helsinki.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you. I don't fuck. All right. Jesus Christ. I'm just a man with no job that does a podcast out of his basement. Christ almighty. Now the last suspect was Panetti Soenheim. During the mid-1960s, an individual named Panetti Soenheim, known for his violent tendencies, claimed to a fellow inmate that he was responsible for the murders that occurred at Lake Bottom. However, he was approximately 14 years old at the time of the murders. Many questioned whether he could single-handedly overpowered 4 older teenagers, casting doubt on his involvement. So that was the last guy.
Sounds like bullshit.
Seems like it was pretty, like he was just trying to show off when he's in prison.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, just so you don't rape me tonight,
a badass.
I want you to know that I killed 4 people and they never found me. So just so you know. Or, well, 3, actually. 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4, not bad. Now, the case goes cold, even though there are like tons of leads, right? In late March in 2004, I'm saying the crime occurred in 1960. In 2004, 44 years later, Gustafsson, the guy that survived, was arrested. He was arrested in early 2005. The Finnish National Bureau of Investigation, which is the NBI, which I think is hilarious, declared the case was solved based on new forensic analysis. According to the prosecution's interpretation of the bloodstains, Gustafsson had been drunk and excluded from the tent when he attacked the other boy, getting his jaw broken in a fight, which escalated into him committing 3 murders. Now, listen, we've all had fights with our boys, right? Probably on camping trips, potentially, or away from wherever. Has any of those fights ever escalated into you fucking murdering everyone that you're on the trip with?
I can't say.
Let me think about it. No.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
MSS, has any fight you've ever had with your friends escalated into a fucking broken jaw?
No, not on purpose.
I mean, I feel like this wasn't just a lucky punch. I feel like a guy got hit with a baseball bat or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. And they're on motorcycles, so who knows? They're tough guys. I mean, if you look at pictures of them, they're actually not that tough looking. But anyway, the trial started on the 4th of August in 2005. And Gustafsson's defense lawyer argued that the murders were the work of one or more outsiders, and that Gustafsson would have been incapable of killing 3 people given the extent of his injuries. It had always been known that the shoes worn by the killer and hidden by him 450 meters away, 500 yards away from the tent, belonged to Gustafsson, who was found barefoot on top of the tent. Modern DNA analysis was significant for the prosecution, as it showed that the 3 murdered victims' blood was on Gustafsson's shoes, but Gustafsson's was completely absent, so his blood wasn't on his shoes.
Oh.
So I don't know. If he's not sleeping in the tent, right? If he's away from the tent, he probably took his shoes off somewhere else. That's where his shoes are. So maybe that's why his fucking feet didn't have the thing. And the shoddy investigation probably didn't even look at his feet to see if either his blood was on his feet. Who knows? You don't know. But like if he's sleeping away and then this happens and he comes over, it's like, what the fuck's going on? Bum, 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 bum. And that just happens. So anyway, modern.
Well, no,
DNA,
he would have the shoes on for the murder because that's how all the blood's.
That's how the blood's in there.
So he does the murders, and then he goes hides the shoes.
Oh, that's true.
And then he lays there with he's part of the.
He's
whole
like, oh
scene.
man, they got me too. They beat me up, but they.
And that's why I was asleep. I wasn't sleeping with my shoes on.
That's a good. That's a good point. That's not something that I considered in my state right now. So good job. The prosecution said it followed from a lack of Gustafson blood on the shoes and that his injuries had occurred at a different time to the attack on the murdered victims. And that the only explanation of this was that Gustafson himself had committed the murders, then faked the theft of the items by hiding them, further injured himself, and then went back to the tent where, now barefoot, he pretended to be unconscious. The prosecution attempted to bolster their case by alleging an identification by the two bird watchers of Gustafson as the tall blonde man at the scene of the crime, and an assertion that he had been overheard making an incriminating remark, and also that a decade after the event, he had boasted to a woman about his guilt. Listen, we've all said some shit when we're drunk and at a bar trying to get in somebody's pants. I don't think I brutally murdered my best friend and our girlfriends is the thing that you usually put out there to like just get her to like spread them open. This doesn't usually happen.
John Carney says it was solved by Feet Finder.
That's how MSS knows. That's how MSS knows. He got the job, ladies and gentlemen. He got the job.
On the 7th of October in 2005, this is, overseas, Gustafson was acquitted of all charges. The court explained the verdict as due to the prosecution's evidence being inconclusive. No shit. Failure to show Gustafson had a motive appropriate to a crime of such extreme seriousness and certainty about the facts now being impossible given the time had elapsed. The state of Finland paid him $48,000 for the mental suffering caused by the long remand time, but the public prosecutor refused to sue Finnish newspapers for defamation. Gustafson did not use his right to bring charges against the newspaper as an injured party. So that's where we're at. And just, for our guy.
So he got his jaw broken.
Yep.
He got away with murder. And then they gave him $48,000.
And he could have went for more, Trees. He could have went after the newspaper ever.
He could have got more. And then he blamed the whole thing on the devil. This is a... I'm not sure how I feel about this story.
This is
the dumbest murderer we've ever met.
Dumbest murderer. We've clearly cracked the case. We should drive over to Finland and turn him in.
That's good. Get in the Mazda, drive to Finland.
That was spooky story time with MSS, and that's an unsolved mystery.
Great job, MSS.
I thought the music was going to fade out. Nope, it got pumped up higher. I was like, yes.
I want to make sure y'all fucking hear that. Oh, hey, Treasy, hold on a second. I think I did. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Shit.
Yes, we're going good.
How are we doing over there?
I was going to get you a background that you need, but you can use the Fugazi one.
I'm good. It's time for thank yous and GFYs. we lost a bunch of images. It's not my fault.
I'm happy. MSS yelled at me about that. He's like, "Oh, that image sucks. I'm putting a new one in there." And of course he didn't. Yes.
Well, I got
2 hours. No image.
I got busy, man. I got a lot of things I got to do.
Smash 4.
I'm so happy about this shit.
You're so happy about
who are you thanking or GFYing?
I'm going to thank the 13 people that worked on private ballots for the GFY Awards. I really appreciate all of you and who voted in the public, but the people who did the private ballots, like, that was really cool of you to take some time out of your day, and it meant so much. And I loved all the explanations. People who did the private ballots, like, well, I picked this person because of this. And I was like, man, it gave me a lot of insights into what I might do next year for the GFY Awards. So those are going to be presented on Monday. MSS and I are going to present all the awards, 13 of them, to you. The public ballots, the polls are still going, and some of them really fucking matter. There's some ties out there right now currently out of the private ballots, so keep voting. But thanks to all of you who did those private ballots, and feel free to let people know you did them. I'm not trying to keep it private other than until we get the awards out there, so thanks so much.
So, Beef, are there any that, like, we've seen some of the polls, and the polls, have people winning. Are there anywhere like the polls and the private voters are just way on different sides?
Yes, absolutely. And it's hilarious because the poll that I'm winning by a lot, the private ballers swept some other person. All first for another person. So it was interesting to see kind of some of the. So there is some of that where like whoever's winning in the public ballot, they have no chance at winning the actual award. So it's very wild. I may do more private ballots in the future because it went so well. I asked 13 people, all 13 said yes, and they delivered the ballots timely and seemed to enjoy it. So maybe I'll get more people involved next year.
I love it. MSS, who are you thinking of GFYing?
I'm going to thank my guy. I just want to make sure we got that up there. Yep, there we go. I did make it. I just didn't upload it. Now, that's trash. That's trash. I don't like it. No, I want to thank Gordo for finally getting healthy enough to get his ass out of the hospital and home so he can listen to this at home. So thank you, Gordo, for doing that. We appreciate it. We've all been watching that, and we're glad you're feeling better. I want a GFY. I don't know if you guys remember, but a while podcasts ago, I talked about an oil change place that I went to down in Burbank, and I was like, they were so good, they were so like they were attentive, because the shitheads that run the Valvoline in Bridgeport are fucking horrible. So I went there and had a great experience. It was awesome, right? So time comes around, I got to go down to Burbank again because I'm going to go to the Costco Business Center because I need to pick up some shit for walking tacos for my youngest's fall festival. They're going to make walking tacos. They need a bunch of little bags of chips. And so I went down there to pick them up. I'm like, perfect timing. I got to get the oil changed anyway. I'll go down there and get the fucking oil change. Drive over there, first stop, because, you don't want to go to Costco after. You don't want to go to Costco and then go somewhere after because it could take a little while, and I don't want something going bad in the back of the car. If I buy something perishable, that'd be awful. So go there first, pull up, and no one opens the fucking goddamn garage doors. And I'm like, what's going on here? These are my guys. It's 10 o'clock on a fucking Wednesday, or Tuesday. They should be fucking open. It was
or whatever Wednesday.
Day. It was Wednesday. This is a lot of days.
13th day of the 13th.
7 days every week, Loaf. It's hard to keep them straight sometimes.
It was in December.
And I fucking
when they hire the manager.
They need to be open. They're not open. I walk around to the side of the door. No one's there. Went to go fucking open the door. Not locked. Can't get in. Call the fucking place. Nobody fucking picks up. So go fuck yourself, Valvoline in Burbank. I thought you guys were good, and I was going to come back and patronize your business again, but you suck, so I'm not going there. And Slim Mick gave me another lead on another place, so go fuck yourself, Valvoline in Burbank. You fucking ruined. You wasted.
If it's
at least
if it's the place over there in like Pershing and Western,
that is it.
Yep. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay,
one.
Well, good. I'm glad that you do that. Treasy, who are you thinking or GFYing?
Well, first I'm thinking Soul Glow Sox fan for this drink.
Oh man,
cheers, boys. He says good shit as always, boys. Cheers.
Thank you. Soul Glow.
Second, I think me and MSS are both going to thank this guy. We're going to thank Spencer Rattler for rushing for 28 yards so far tonight.
Did he get it?
MSS. So, and don't worry, he ain't going to be kneeling down at the end of the game because the Saints are getting their asses kicked. So
nice.
Bless up. That's a win. That's a win in the bet. So that's it for this week. Beef. We'll have our Survivor pick out pretty soon.
Yes,
but
sir.
until then, we'll see all of you probably in the Twitterverse. Have a good night.
Peace.